Hey everyone, welcome to Comics with Bueller. As always, I'm Bueller. Today is another episode of Just the Keys. This is where we go through a whole series run and we point out the keys that are in that series. Today we're going to focus on X Factor. It's one of my favorites. I'm a big mutant fan, and the original X-Men have got back together and they've formed the X Factor. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and do so, because we do a lot of videos like this showing just the keys. We also do preview videos and reviews and a whole bunch of other stuff that you might enjoy. But back to this video, I do the research, I go through, I check the prices on eBay for sold prices, for CGC copies, for sold prices of raw copies, and also the Overstreet price guide that just came out a couple weeks ago. I compare that as well. Before we get started, let's talk about the history of X Factor itself. So this book came out in 1986 and ran until 1998. It had 149 issues in the regular series and 9 annuals. So what is X Factor? X Factor is the original X-Men team coming back together. This team includes Cyclops, Jean Grey, Beast, Iceman, and Angel. This series crossed over in multiple other titles in X-Men and New Mutants, so there was a lot of crossover between different characters jumping in and out of this run. So now that you guys are all caught up with some of the history of the X Factor, let's go ahead and jump into the keys. We're going to go ahead and start out with this one. So this is X Factor number 1. This is the one that started it all, came out in 1986. So this one going for right now, CGC 9.8, is selling anywhere between $70 and $100. Raw, you can pick this book up for around $5 to $10, no big deal. If you look up in Overstreet for very fine and near mint copies, and that's how I grade Overstreet. Very fine 8.0 is $14, and a near mint copy is $24, and that's at a grade of 9.2 or higher. So compared to the Overstreet price guide, you can pick up raw copies of this book very easily, so make sure you pick up those. Newsstand, direct edition, they're easy to find. It's a great book to have. The next one we're going to look at is number 2. And the significance about this book is the first appearance of MADDICKS. This book is an easy book to get. You shouldn't pay more than $3, and a lot of times you'll find this one in the dollar bin. And a lot of these books I'm going to show you, you will be able to find in the dollar bins or less, but they are first appearances, and we all should be aware of first appearances because we have seen what's happening to these random books recently. They're just jumping up in prices, and if you can pick up first appearances now, then do it. The next one we have is number 4. This is the first appearance of Frenzy. This is one of those other books that I was talking about that you can pick up for around $1. The most you should pay for this book is $3. Now we're getting back into some keys. This one right here, number 5. That one is the first cameo appearance of Apocalypse. So this one, the CGC 9.8, is selling for about $80. Not that much money. Raw copies between $10 and $15, and then Overstreet for very fine, you're looking at $16 to a near mint of $32. At one time this book was a lot hotter than it is right now, so the price has come way down, and also with the next book we're going to show you. So now's a great time to pick it up. The movie that came out that had Apocalypse as the featured villain didn't do him any justice. Okay, so speaking of Apocalypse, we have number 6. And that is the first full appearance of Apocalypse. I looked this one up also. CGC 9.8 is selling between $180 and $205. And this is probably the most expensive book that's in this run. Raw copies are going to cost you $25 and $40. And a very fine and Overstreet is $37 to a near mint at $95. The Overstreet guide is overpriced on this book. The raw copies, like I said, $25 to $40. You should be able to pick those up, no problem. This is a newer book. You should just buy the raw copies, and if you want to get graded, go that way because they're easy to get, and there's no reason to spend $180 to $200 on the CGC copy when the raw ones are easy to find. Okay, back down to some cheaper books. This is number 7. This has a bunch of first appearances of it, just minor characters. It's got Skids, Bulk, Glowworm, and Trish Tilby. This is a very cheap book, $3 at the most, but more than likely you're going to find it sitting in the dollar bins. But it's got 4 first appearances in one book. Let me go ahead and set these down. We're going to jump up to number 12. This is the first Autumn ROLFSON, and I probably pronounced that wrong. I always pronounce the names wrong because you really don't know what they are, to be honest with you. They later become Famine. This book is also another $3 book at the most. Look for it, pick it up. We're going to go to number 15, and this is not a first appearance or anything, but number 15 is where Angel loses his wings. They get amputated, which is really unfortunate. This one, a CGC copy of this book, 9.8, is only selling for about 40 bucks, you know, which is probably the cost to get something CGC'd. And then raw copies of this book are only on $5 to $8. So really no problem. You should be able to pick this up any day of the week. Then we're going to jump up to number 17, and this is the first appearance of RICTOR. This is another book that's going to be in the $3 to $4 range, and a lot of times dollar bin stuff. Then we're going to jump up to 19, and this is a key book. This is the first Horseman of Apocalypse appearance. CGC copies of this, 9.8, are going for about 80 bucks. Raw copies only between $5 and $10, so that's great. And then a very fine in Overstreet for $9, and then a near mint in Overstreet going to be $25. So pretty easy to pick up. It's a nice book to have. I like the Horsemen of Apocalypse. They're kind of cool. So I would definitely pick this up right now because it's cold and it can only go up. So that's awesome. We're going to jump up to 23. And this is the Cameo of Archangel. This one has a little bit of value at a 9.8 CGC, selling for about $120. Raw copies between $6 and $10, pretty cheap. And then Overstreet has a very fine at $8 and a near mint at $12. And guess what's next? Of course, number 24, which is the first full appearance of the Archangel. Pretty cool book. I picked this up not too long ago for a nice price. It was a lot hotter back then when I picked it up, so I got a good deal. I could probably get it now for the price I paid for it any day of the week. But a CGC 9.8 of this one is selling for about $140. A raw copies between $10 and $20, and then very fine in Overstreet for $23, and near mint copies at $50. And just so you guys know, and if I didn't point this out, the prices I'm quoting are sold prices for CGCs and for the raw copies. I don't go by what's listed, I go by what is sold. Okay, let me set these down. Those are actually all the major keys that are in the run right there. But there are some minor keys and some first appearances that you should be aware of. So we're going to kind of blow through those kind of fast. This is number 28. This is the first appearance of INFECTIA, I believe it's called. This is also a $3 book at the most. This is number 32. This is the first appearance, and I know I'm going to get this wrong. Narcissia? I got it wrong. But it is a first appearance, and this is also at the most a $3 book. And then this one's a little different. This is number 38. This is part of that Inferno series, which had the crossover event with a bunch of different mutant titles, including X-Men and New Mutants and some others. Great series, by the way. This one is the origin and death of the Goblin Queen, so it's kind of a cool thing. And another $3 book at the most. Okay, and this one is kind of cool. This one is number 41. This is the first appearance of Alchemy. And, you know, first appearance, I don't know what to say about this guy too much. But anyway, this is about a $3 book at the most, so that's great. And this is my honorable mention, and I just like this cover. This is number 50. And it's mainly just the cover is why I like it. It's a McFarlane Liefeld collab that they did together, and I like McFarlane covers, and I believe it's the only one that he did for the X Factor, so it's kind of cool to have. Alright, just a few more books to go. This is X Factor number 54. This is another first appearance. This is the first appearance of Crimson, also another $3 book. Then we jump up to 67. This is the first appearance of Shinobi Shaw. I don't know who that is, but it is a first appearance. And then we're going to jump over to the new team. This is issue 71. And this is where the new X-Factor team makes their debut. This team has Havoc, Polaris, Strong Guy, Wolfbane, and MADDICKS. Is that right? MADDICKS? Anyway, so brand new team. This is the start of their adventure, and they finish out the run. And then we have number 75 of X-Factor. And this is the first appearance of the Nasty Boys team. And this is also a $3 book. And that last book was a $3 at the most book also. We're just moving right along. This one's really cool. I actually like this character a lot. This is number 88. This is the first appearance of Random. Kind of a cool character. I'd like to see what they do with that down the road. But it's a $3 book. And this one has a nice hologram shiny thing in it. This is issue number 92. This is the first appearance of Exodus. Kind of neat. You like the little shine? I do. Couple more books to go. We're almost done. This is nice. X-Factor number 96. This is the first Haven. Another $3 or less book. And then the very last book, and the reason why it's on here is because it's the last book of the run, and that's really the only reason. I just like to give you a starting point and an ending point. This is number 149. This is, like I said, the last issue. The team disbands, and X-Factor is no more. Okay, so we showed you all the keys in the X-Factor run, issue 1 through 149. There's about 25 books total that we showed you, mainly just minor keys with first appearances, but a couple major appearances of a big villain, Apocalypse, kind of cool. I hope they do something better with him because they didn't do him justice in the movie, and they need to do it again. The great thing about this series, it's affordable. You can find full runs of this series on eBay between $125 and $150, and most of those will include the annuals. So you get over 150 books for less than $150. So you're paying less than $1 a book, and you'll get some nice keys in the first appearance of Apocalypse. So the next Just the Keys video we're going to do is for Alpha Flight. So that should be a whopping 2-minute video. I'm just kidding. Alpha Flight actually has a couple keys in there that are kind of nice. Obviously number 1, and there's a first appearance of a lady, and we'll cover that next week on Tuesday. Alright guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch. Don't forget to click on some of these other videos that are popping up right now that are other key issue videos. And also don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. Go ahead and leave a comment, hit that like button. You guys know what to do. We'll see you next time. Bye.